And welcome to an all-access night on Root Sports from PNC Park. It's Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs. An old friend returns, Ryan Doman, off the disabled list. Not in the starting lineup, but certainly on the roster. And welcome inside the press room, the lunchroom. An all-access night here on Root Sports. We're going to be taking you places you have never seen before. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass and the parrot, of course.
Polly, want a cracker?
This is our favorite place, no doubt, right?
It is. You know, I'm so excited about tonight, Greg, that I've been here since breakfast, and it's been a full plate, but now the plate is pretty much empty.
Well, since we're talking food, the Pirates have been suffering a little bit of heartburn lately, haven't they?
They really have. You know, it's been a tough stretch, Greg, and you know, when you consider a baseball season, it's almost like a three-course dinner. And we played the first 54, second 54, and now if you want to have your dessert taste pretty good, you better get your act together for the last 54.
Let's take a look at the National League Central Division menu, where the Pirates are right now 6 games out of first place in the National League Central Division. So imperative that Charlie Morton cooks up something strong, right?
Yeah, he really needs to do it, and he did come up big earlier this year when the Pirates are on a significant skid. He shut out the Cincinnati Reds, so Charlie Morton needs to have a good game tonight, and based on last night's game, he needs to keep that sinker downstairs, keep these Cubs in the ballpark.
Come on back. An all-access night on Root Sports. Again, behind the scenes, we're going to mic up Nick Leyva, the Pirates' third base coach, talk to Clint Hurdle during the game. All that and more as the Pirates take on the Chicago Cubs. Game 3 of the 4-game series coming up next.
Worth the click. Let's go Bucks.
And welcome back to PNC Park All Access Night. Nick Leyva, Pirates' third base coach, is going to be mic'd up. Let's get a little taste of Nick Leyva earlier talking to Pirates chairman Bob Nutting.
Hey Bob, how are you? Excellent. Good. Yeah, we're going to get it going. Get a little snag in a row, but we'll be all right. You watch.
All right, Nick Leyva, you'll be hearing him all night long.
And he's never dull. He's a good guy and very entertaining and a great, great baseball man.
Yeah.
He really is.
one of those good troopers you like to.
Yep.
All right, ready to go. Starlin Castro. Strike is called. 77 degrees at game time. Castro 3 for 5 last night, 6 for 10 in the series. The Cubs a season high 21 hits. They banged out 6 homers. How many times this year, Steve, have we talked about important starts by certain individuals, and in particular Charlie Morton?
Yeah, well, we had the food theme earlier as you take a look at the numbers for Charlie, and you just hope that he serves up a gourmet presentation tonight. He needs to be ground chuck, and ground chuck could never taste any better than if he can serve it up on a regular basis tonight. Keep the ball on the ground, hit those ground balls.
And you and I were talking that maybe the time is right. This particular lineup, guys like Starlin Castro, who is a free swinger, doesn't like to take a lot of walks, probably not real disciplined just yet, 21 years old, not a lot of big boppers from the left side. So maybe this combination, because Morton has really struggled against lefties this season.
Yep, and you hope it is exactly that kind of combination that clicks for Charlie Morton and the ball club. And you know what? It's so important for Charlie, but you know, it doesn't have to be all Charlie. This ball club, as a ball club, can help him out, do different things, maybe help him out defensively, offensively, and get the job done. But the emphasis is on the starting pitcher, and the starters for the Pirates have struggled. Recently, it's been a tremendous struggle, and so ironic when the bats are starting to come to life.
Well, Castro has only walked 20 times this season, walked only 29 times all of last year. You see the lefties hitting .380 against him, and pulled foul. So it's Starlin Castro at the plate. On deck, it's Darwin Barney. The rest of the lineup for Mike Quaddy's club. Aramis Ramirez hits third. Then Carlos Pena and Marlon Byrd. Giovanni Soto, the catcher. In left, it's Alfonso Soriano, Tyler Colvin in right, and Matt Garza on the hill. And again, fouled off the fastball. Alfonso Soriano, 2 of the 6 home runs last night.
And you certainly don't want to have Castro on the base pass. They don't run a lot as a team, these Chicago Cubs, but he'll run. And Charlie Morton, a power sinker pitcher, that's not the easiest type of pitch to handle in terms of catching mechanics, getting ready to throw to second base.
Another foul ball. Castro tough early here.
He is tough. He is a fine looking young baseball player. Needs to clean up his act defensively, but boy, everybody very, very impressed with this Cubs shortstop.
Already the 9th pitch of the at-bat. And he will retire Starlin Castro on a fly ball to right field. PNC achievement. Charlie Morton, when they needed a stopper, Morton delivered back on May the 18th against the Cincinnati Reds. Pirates had lost 6 straight. He shut down the Redlegs at Great American Ballpark on 5 hits, a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. For the achiever in you, Charlie Morton.
A gem.
Darwin Barney had 3 hits last night. And he takes ball 1.
When you look in back of Charlie when he releases the ball, you just want to see that power downward movement from the top of his arm, extreme height. That ball goes downstairs.
And it's a bounding ball. Second baseman Walker retires him. The first ground ball of the night. We'll keep track of that. We showed you the splits where lefties batting .380 against him, righties just .213. Well, there are only 2 left-hand hitters in the lineup tonight against Charlie Morton. That could also go in his favor.
Oh, look at the in on the hands. Nothing that Barney could do but hit that ball off the handle of the bat, and the Pirates had it positioned perfectly. That's right. Don't throw Aramis Ramirez a first pitch strike. He is an unbelievably consistent first pitch swinger if you get it anywhere near the strike zone. 9 first pitch home runs for him this year. 9.
Chopper. Another ground ball.
Chop, chop, chop.
1, 2, 3. Like the taste early on, don't you? We go to the bottom of the first. Cubs, nothing. Pirates come to bat.
or the post game, but tonight it's the home for me, the social media moderator. I'm going to be checking throughout the game on both Twitter and Facebook, just a part of really the social media that has taken over, and it'll be just a part of the All Access night. Now you can follow us on Twitter at Root Sports Pit. You can like us on Facebook at Root Sports Pittsburgh Region. You can also text the keyword booth, question to 412-412, and I was just checking Facebook. Phoebe Thompson, she's got cross-country practice, so she can't be tuning into the game tonight, but she says she thinks that Charlie Morton will end the skid tonight, and she loves her Bucks no matter what. Guys?
I like her thinking. Thank you very much, Lacey. We'll continue to check in on this all-access night on Root Sports. Here is the starting lineup brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, Andrew McCutchen will be leading off. He'll be followed by Garrett Jones and Neil Walker. Derek Lee hits cleanup again for the third straight night. Ryan Ludwig, the two new additions, followed by Pedro Alvarez, who could be getting hot. Ronnie Cedeno, Michael McHenry, and Charlie Morton.
Right-hander Matt Garza, 27-year-old right-hander, 4-8 on the year, has had a rough stretch. Last win for Matt Garza, June 27th. Last time out, lit up by the St. Louis Cardinals. But to keep in mind, those 6 starts, as you go back to his last win, 4 of those he pitched well. And so this guy knows how to pitch. Big year for the Tampa Bay Rays last year, a 15-game winner. Struggling here with the Cubs record-wise, but in ERA still under 4.
And when all is said and done, you look at this season for the Cubs, he has been their best starter. And they expect not only big things for him the last 2 months of the season, but next year and beyond.
Well, that tells you about the Cubs year, doesn't it?
Yep.
The best starter has won 4 games.
Yep. Andrew McCutchen chops this ball foul. Second time the Pirates have seen Garza. He allowed 12 hits in 7 innings, but the Pirates scored only 3 runs against him back on April the 3rd, the 3rd game of the season at Wrigley Field. The Pirates won the game 5-4 by scoring twice in the 9th off Carlos Marmol. And McCutchen fouls off another. Garza 6'4", 215 pounds, part of an 8-player deal over the winter. There's that start. Some folks, the Cubs side would say he's run into some bad luck. He would have more wins if the bullpen didn't blow with 3 or 4 games. Some fielding miscues behind him. Even his own fielding miscues.
Well, it's amazing when you say your best starter has won 4 games. 2 other starters have won 8, Zambrano and Ryan Dempster. That's how much they think of him.
Off of Ramirez. Just got done talking about the fielding. That was a tough hop. See how they rule it, but McCutchen is aboard. Base hit.
Aramis Ramirez trying to take that ball on the in-between hop, the line drive. Tough play. You don't know whether to give ground or try to charge it. Really not much time to do either. You hope you have the glove in the right spot. He made a play like that last night or the first night of the series where he came in kind of an Olay kind of a play, but some you do and some you don't in that situation. Tough play.
Base hit. See if McCutchen is on the move. We talked about this last night, his conversation with Clint Hurdle after that Phillies series. How Jimmy Rollins set the table for that high-powered offense, and with the additions of Lee and Ludwig, both McCutchen and his skipper agreed it was time to get McCutchen back up there to fill the gap until Tabata or Presley or both return. Is Jones back?
Big night last night.
4 RBIs.
Well, the thing is, we talked about Charlie, and I just want to bring this up again. There are other people on this ball club that could be providing the impetus to win the ball game tonight. He doesn't have to pitch a 2-hit shutout. It would be great if he did, but there's other people that can make contributions for a Pirate win to get out of this skid. It's not all on the shoulders of one person, and you don't want Charlie thinking that way. There's 9 people involved in this ball game tonight. They can all be a part of a Pirate win, not just the pitcher.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Garrett Jones. Ryan Domit will start tomorrow, according to Clint Hurdle. And they said doesn't have a plan yet in terms of who catches when, how many games, and he'll determine that as he goes along. But they obviously love what Michael McHenry has done.
But there's also something to be said for a switch hitting catcher with some pop in the bat. So see how it plays out.
And there is Michael McHenry, as Clint Hurdle points out. He said, do some research. He said, I'd be willing to bet the vast majority of the time a guy comes back on a rehab, his first 3-4 games, how many at bats, are not really good. It takes him a while. In other words, don't expect Domit to step in and all of a sudden tear it up. There goes McCutchen. Swing and a foul tip for the strike. The high throw and a stolen base. It's a strikeout of Jones and a stolen base for McCutchen, his 17th.
Kennywood play up and down, strikeout and a stolen base. The bad and the good. At least tonight somebody was there when Soto threw the ball to second base.
Right.
You weren't with us last night. Giovanni Soto threw a ball to second base. Nobody running from first, and neither the shortstop nor second base was there. Just a flyer into center field.
Here is Neil Walker. 64 RBIs on the season. Two hits last night. And a ground ball right side, and a nice play by the second baseman, Darwin Barney.
Went a long way out onto the outfield grass, got the leather around it, and then it became easy.
2 outs, McCutchen at third.
You see, there's an example of a play where a guy doesn't have to go down on the ground, but full extension. And that allows him to stay upright and not have to throw from his knees. Does a good job without some of the dramatics you sometimes see. That are sometimes necessary, but not all the time.
Well, Derek Lee takes ball one. By the way, a part of All Access night, and Steve and I both wish we could do this, honestly. You can actually listen in on Jeff Mitchell, our director, calling the camera shots from the trailer, the truck. You can get the info there at the top of your screen on the Root Sports score box.
I would buy
the game.
Yeah, I would buy a ticket for that, and you folks don't have to buy a ticket. It's coming to you.
I think it would be so neat to sit there with your computer, watch the game, and listen to him call these shots from the trailer. We don't even get a chance to hear that.
Yeah, what does he do? Camera 4, stay there. Camera 2, get ready to do this, and back and forth.
You're better than Walk.
Well, the timing is incredible to sit there and watch that rhythm of that.
Pittsburgh.rootsports.com to get on and listen online to the director in the truck, or the trailer as we call it. One of the many gypsies. 2-1 count on Derek Lee. And now it's 3-1.
2 minutes in the truck for Dan Potash. Ready, 4, go to 2, get ready. Left center. It is incredible how they keep track of all
and it's
that.
even better than that, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's a lot better than that. It's incredibly better than that.
Dave, our 8-2.
Yep.
Big Dave. Yes, sir. He's got the Jolly Roger. Hear the bones. Bucks need to raise that Jolly Roger, don't they? It would be a nice feel. Get the bad taste out of our mouths.
I want Dave to write a book. I'll be buying the first copy.
Yep. Line drive it right at the shortstop, Castro. Infield hit. Stolen base, nice play by the second baseman Barney, and a line drive. 0-0.
For a chance to win a trip for you and 9 friends. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go, Bucks!
Welcome back. Game 3 of this 4-game series. The Cubs have won the first 2, and now Carlos Pena leads off against Charlie Morton, one of the 2 left-hand hitters in the lineup we talked about. And it goes the other way. A rare occurrence for Pena, beating the shift with an opposite field double.
Just a little flare, didn't sting the ball, but got fortunate, dropped it down the left field line. Easy 2-bagger. Kind of off the end of the bat, and that's the normal flight pattern of a Charlie Morton sinker, down and away, and he just went out there and just flipped it out into left field. It's a pretty good piece of hitting.
Sounded like the home plate umpire, Bob Davidson. It sounded like, I don't know if it was, but somebody yelled, "Hey, Pat," as in Pat Listash. That's how you used to hit it. Bench coach for the Cubs, Pat Listash. Mike Quaddy, the skipper. Marlon Byrd bounces this ball to the shortstop. Not what he wanted to do, for sure, because that out did not move the runner. Morton gets Byrd to ground to short. Now he faces the catcher Giovanni Soto. First time this season that Morton has faced the Cubs.
4th time or 5th time overall in the starting role.
Strike 1 on Soto. 3 for 6 in the series. One of the 6 home runs last night.
Well, you make a good point, Greg. One of the great things about baseball, there's so many games, you can get rid of last night's bad feel tonight that quickly. You don't have to wait a week or 3 or 4 days.
There's the bench coach, Pat Listash. As Carlos Pena hit the ball the other way, off the end of the bat. And a ground ball to third. So, Steve, these right-hand hitters really, again, early on, those ground balls, you talk about ground chuck, and the last 3, Ramirez, Byrd, and Soto pulling that sinker and beating it into the ground.
Well, that sinker is coming into them, down and in, as opposed to a lefty throwing to a right-hand batter who can just kind of go with that pitch to right field. So it's easier. They've got to get the hands inside that pitch that's just continuing to bore in on them.
Like Pena did the other way, while going away from him.
Yep, that's exactly right.
There's Soriano. And I know what you're saying, Stephen. You say that it's not on Morton's shoulders. The whole thing isn't on. Everybody has to contribute to a win. But a win with Charlie Morton pitching well would be so nice.
Yeah, because the starters as a group have been struggling.
Settle things down.
Yeah, you've got to get that rotation as near to where they were as possible, and that's going to be hard to do all the way.
Another bouncer left side, and the throw across.
There you go.
Charlie Morton gives up the opposite field double, but then Brown Chuck is back. Perhaps it's early, getting a lot of ground balls. At second and then on to third. We've got Nick Leyva mic'd up. We're going to be talking to Clint Hurdle. And take the Pirates with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv. See every Pirates game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Pirates.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Ryan Ludwig leads off.
It's always a shot in the arm. You give up a leadoff double, as Charlie Morton did. You can prevent him from scoring. It turns it upside down. It's not that great start that the offensive team wants to score, and you've really done a good job. That's always a really good feeling for starting pitcher, and Charlie did it that last half inning. Never let the ball get out of the infield.
Ludwig looks for his first Pirate hit. 0 for 2 plus a walk last night. 0 for 3 with a walk in his debut. 2-1 count, and as we pointed out, I thought really an interesting statistic about Ludwig, the fact that he is second behind only Ryan Braun in terms of RBIs among left fielders in the National League. You had Walker and McCutchen basically carrying the offense for the majority of this season. Ground ball to shortstop should be easy for Castro. A little high, but you got the Gold Glover over there, Pena. Walker with 64 RBIs, McCutchen 63, and after the trade of Ludwig, you had 64 ribbies to that lineup.
And you talk about this 5-game skid, Greg, and the Pirate bats have come alive. They're averaging right around 4 runs a game, and it wasn't too long ago when 4 was a guaranteed win for the Pirates. So it's funny, the ebb and flow of a major league season, pitching carrying it. Now that the bats are starting to pick it up a little bit, boy, the starting pitching is really having a tough time the last 5 or 6 games.
By the way, Clint Hurdle also addressed what had been talked about before the All-Star break, that the Pirates might get creative, the possibility perhaps of a 6-man rotation. And he has said that they have talked recently, and now that is not, they are not on board now with a 6-man rotation, is what Hurdle said. But they might do some other things. Shut down a starter for a time.
And they did that with Charlie, remember,
yep.
earlier, as the starter too.
As he says, back somebody off or unplug them for a while.
Well, Clint's always got the phrasing that covers each and every subject. That is refreshing. By the way, we're getting a little significant rain here. And it's been a drizzly, kind of dreary afternoon in Pittsburgh, and now it's getting fairly serious. And the fans are getting serious about getting up out of the rain into the concourse. Hey, Poncho.
One ball, 2 strikes on Alvarez with 1 out.
Just 9 home runs given up by Garza in his first 20 starts.
He's also struck out on average 9 per 9 innings. That's the 6th best mark in the National League. And he gets his 2nd of the night.
Strike zone presented by Range Resources. This 2nd strikeout by Garza, and that, you talked about good downward movement, and that was not the fastball. Some kind of splitter or something going down straight downstairs at around 86 miles an hour. We said 15-game winner for the Rays last year.
A little over a year ago, the no-hitter against the Tigers.
But a strange set of statistics for him this year. His last win over a month ago, 6 starts since then without a win. Before good starts, not much help.
Another play made by Castro, very fluid there. Quick transfer from the backhand, and the Pirates go quickly in the 2nd. 0-0. The other umps, Bob Davidson calling the balls and strikes with Lance Barrett at first and Brian Knight at 2nd. Watching the weather situation, but really I think it's even backed off since we took the between inning break.
Yeah, play misty for me.
Yeah. All tickets purchased now through Sunday. Pirates are paying all service fees. This deal includes any ticket purchased for any of the remaining Pirate home games for the rest of the season. So don't miss out on the great promotions, key divisional matchups, fireworks, and more. For tickets, go to Pirates.com. These fees are not just waived, the Pirates are paying all fees. Again, now through this Sunday for any tickets purchased for the remainder of the home schedule. Tyler Colvin hit an absolute monster shot last night. Bounced into the Allegheny.
Well, you like that. Every once in a while, Charlie can come upstairs, and he can come upstairs effectively after getting them on a sight line where they're thinking sinker, down, down, down all the time. You pick your spots, and an upstairs fastball can be very, very effective. But the question remains, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? So you got Chuck out there.
That's exactly right. 1-2 on Tyler Colvin.
Looks like we're playing this game in London.
That's the truth, isn't it? And a strikeout.
Upstairs. Yep. That can work for you.
Where's Big Ben?
Strike zone from Range Resources. Yes, you can go upstairs. You get them thinking downstairs all the time.
Look across the city, it does look like London. I guess Big Ben's in Latrobe. Matt Garza, 3 hits and 41 at bats.
Tight. Significant miss. Just a bit inside.
Wow, that
just a bit inside.
It's not a replay. That is.
Now wait a minute. Now
it
gets me thinking a little bit about last night when nobody got knocked down.
Yeah, but why would you do that to Garza?
Why not?
I mean, come on.
Why not?
Soriano, maybe. Look at that, 3 almost identical fastballs that ride in on Garza. Look at that.
I guess he wants to crowd him a little bit. Let's adjust the sights here a little bit, Charlie. There you go. I'll tell you, I am stunned nobody got knocked down. I'm not talking about hitting people or anything like that. But you just can't let a team swing like that and have those kind of swings all night long.
Yeah, very comfortable, to say the least. Digging in, right?
Yeah. I mean, swinging from their heels all night long.
Kevin Correa. Really, really rough one, huh? Last night. And a strikeout.
All the way back. Charlie was just getting his attention inside. And that, I'll tell you, when you're up there with a bat as a pitcher, those kind of pitches that he threw to Garza will get your attention. That'll take your resolve away as a pitcher up there trying to hit.
Steve, how about this 21-year-old, Starlin Castro?
He's gifted. He's really got a chance to be a special player. That play he made the last out in the bottom of the second. Backhand side, the quick release, strong, accurate throw. That's a combination that is not all that common, all 3 factors of that play. And it wound up looking like a routine play. Backhand, lightning release of the ball to first base with a little something on it and completely accurate. Doesn't sound like much, but that's a pretty good package.
And toward right center field, and another hit for Starlin Castro. He is 7 for 12 in the series. He turned 21 in March.
You know, gets his body out of the way of this a little bit, so he's able to push the ball to the opposite field. Andrew almost overruns it. And if he does, even though Garrett's backing up, Castro's got a chance to go to second. Keep an eye on him, Charlie, because he'll want to run.
The only Cub that wants to run. 12 steals in 16 attempts. We talked last night about the fact that the Cubs have the fewest steals in the league. Even with Castro's stolen base last night, giving them 38 on the year, one behind the Cardinals for the fewest in the senior circuit. And there he goes, taken for a strike. The throw is right on the money, and a stolen base. Nothing, go to the bottom of the 3rd. Early on, very early, but boy, you certainly love to see Charlie Morton pitch like this.
Oh, definitely. He's attacking the strike zone, 5 ground balls, first time through the lineup, couple punch outs, throwing strikes, good sink, trying to mix in an occasional changeup, maybe a breaking ball here and there, but he's got to pitch off the sinker tonight. I feel confident about the start.
Well, you got to like the fact he kept a good eye on Castro, so you had a chance to get him at second base too, Clint.
It was one of the big, target points in the offseason, in the spring training, just giving our catchers a chance to throw some people out. Everybody's worked hard, paid off right there.
Clint, the attitude of the club, you've been asked this a lot by the media, but just to tell the folks, the attitude of the team and the clubhouse and your attitude.
We're pushing forward. We knew this was going to take everything we got for as long as we're playing ball this year. So this is a challenge that the season presents. The guys are upbeat. They're angry. We've got to play better on the field. They're being challenged by the game right now. We know that. We've got to step up and answer the demands of the game. We're going to be fine. We're going to play better. We're going to win ball games.
Put a foot down, right, Clint?
Put a foot down.
All right, Clint, thanks so much for being with us. 1-1 count on Michael McHenry.
Thanks to Clint Hurdle joining us.
All access night. Charlie Morton on deck. And Steve talked that question there he had for Clint Hurdle about Morton keeping Castro close, and of course Michael McHenry.
That allows
a strong throw.
Allows McHenry to do his thing. A lot of it's on the pitcher. I think 80% of it's on the pitcher, because the catcher can throw, and they'll throw, and they'll get them out if they get the chance from the pitcher.
3-1 count on McHenry. Clint Hurdle. Mile marker number 109 on the road to 162 tonight. And the team 54-54 on the year.
I'll tell you, this is a bizarre
here in
summer.
London.
Yes, a bizarre. The fog is rolling in, coming across the river or somewhere. But
look at that
dark and stormy night. Look alive, matey.
3-2 count on McHenry. Back up and in, and a leadoff free pass will of course allow Morton to try and move him along with a bunt.
Sounds like looks like a good place to hunker down in the nearest cafe.
Yep. Morton pulls back. Morton has done good work in this department. He gets it down to Pena, very aggressive, and thought about second. Settles for the shore out at first. Bucco fans, we want to hear your questions about the game. Text the keyword booth followed by your question and your name to 412-412. We'll ask your question to Steve Blass a bit later on. Remember, message and data rates may apply. Are you ready, Steve Blass?
Yep. What's the fee? Nothing.
You'll get nothing and like it.
All right.
See what McCutchen gets to hit to try and bring home a go-ahead run here in the third inning.
Maybe if he hits the ball down in the corner, they won't find it in the fog.
Gloomy looking evening in Pittsburgh.
Our cameras are too good because they're making it look a little brighter than it is.
One ball, one strike on McCutchen. 63 RBIs.
Garza gets the ball to home plate 93, 94 miles an hour out of Selma, California. He was a first-round pick by the Minnesota Twins back in 2005 and then came over to the Rays organization a couple years later.
Fly ball to Soriano in left and makes the catch.
Getting the ball upstairs. Strike zone presented by Range Resources, and that's the kind of location. That's right down Grant Street, and you can get burned with that ball. Andrew hit it decent, but didn't get all of it. Soriano makes the catch in left field.
Garza facing Garrett Jones. Struck him out in the first.
One previous career start against the Pirates without a decision.
And again, that was that game on April the 3rd. A dozen hits. Jones had a couple. Jose Tabata had 3 of them. Pedro Alvarez had 3 hits that afternoon at Wrigley.
Look at that line. 12 hits, but struck out 12.
Yeah, didn't walk a batter in 7 innings. And 0-2 the count now. Fourth career 2-homer game of his career last night for Jones. Checks. No, did not go. Day Automotive key matchup of the day. This series 3 for 7. 2 homers, career against the Cubs. 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. We'll keep an eye on this key matchup of the day throughout the game. We're going to make your day. Down on strikes goes Garrett Jones. 3 punch outs for Garza. The walk doesn't hurt him. 0-0 after 3.
I'm Dan Potash. This is one of 7 different suites that you can actually enjoy the ball game high above the left field corner. Good food, good drink, and of course good fun. I've asked Chris Zabra of the Pirates to join me for a couple minutes and tell me a little bit more about what fans can do.
One of 7 of our World Series suites. Each of them represent one of the 7 World Series that the Pirates have played in. This is 1909, as you mentioned. We're down the left field line on the PBC level, so right outside the door here, folks who have access to this private air conditioning on a night like tonight. Experience, they can also go into the PBC level as well and have access to the rest of the ballpark if they need be. Very popular option here at PNC Park, especially for client entertainment. People want to have a birthday party, just get a group of friends together. I think these are some coworkers in here tonight, but a great option for you to take part in here at PNC Park.
Now we're in Suite 1909, as you said, but also at PNC Park is the Cambria Club. Not pictured, but also a lot of fun as well.
Another great option was brand new last year here at PNC Park. It's a all-inclusive product where you can stay in there, hang out. There's private bathrooms. There's a private bar that you can take access to. There are 9 flat-screen TVs in there as well. Carving station, another great option to come down and entertain some clients or spend some time with your friends or family.
Chris, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Greg Brown, no hot fudge Sundays, but I'm working on it.
Oh, I've heard that before. Thanks. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS to reserve your suite. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS, BUYBUCS. You will love the dynamics, just everything about those World Series suites. Our thanks to Dan and, of course, to Chris Zabert. Does a great job as the Senior Director of Ticket Sales and Services for the Pirates. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS to reserve your suite. Entertain clients, a family affair.
It is laid out. It really is laid out. It's first class.
Weddings, bar mitzvahs, whatever it might be. You and I have both done that. Whether it be an anniversary, I know for you, I've had family reunions.
We've had reunions of ball clubs, like the '71 reunion was in the World Series suites, and they can open them up to double down.
Chopper people fouled off,
and the surface is great. It's a great angle to see the ball game from. It's just there's nothing not to like about it. It's just wonderful. You bring your friends in there, they will be impressed
and have a good time.
Yep, you'll be impressed. Great party atmosphere.
Darwin Barney grounded to second, his first at bat, and again the pitch in on him, fouls it off. Bob Nutting in one of the suites talking to some of the folks. Enjoying this great year of 2011. Trying to get back on track. Fouled off and just did get a piece of it. In that World Series suite, the 1909 World Series suite, you heard Chris saying that each of those suites representing one of the 7 World Series the Pirates played in. They beat the Tigers that year in 1909 after winning 110 games. That was the year after the Cubs beat the Tigers. In the 1908 World Series, the last one, the Cubs have won.
How about Honus Wagner against Ty Cobb?
Yep. See how far back our AT&T mobility trivia question goes. Does it go back to 1909? Nope. Joe Beimel, 100 career appearances at PNC Park. Who are the only 5 pitchers to have more career appearances in this ballpark? Now, last night, Bob and I alternated answers, so I'll start, if you don't mind. I'll go with Mahalam.
100 appearances?
Yeah.
Brown Chuck. How much wood could a wood chuck?
Another ground ball.
Grabo.
I like that one.
Caps.
Well, wait. It's my turn.
No.
All right. All right. You want to go with Caps?
No, you just went with Caps.
No.
Well, if I'm wrong, then it was your incorrect guess. Relievers, right? I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, I think Mahalam's got to be the only starter. Would Mike Williams have appeared in that many? Ball hit the other way again by Carlos Pena. And it's a fair ball. Twice. He has really, off the end of the bat, hit these doubles. Weren't stung.
Let's see if it's another fastball. It's tailing away and or down this left-hand hitter. Strike zone from Range Resources. Yep, see that ball running down and away. Almost a mirror of the first pitch that was dumped shorter for 2 bases. This one comes after 2 outs.
Now, Steve, if you are Morton and McHenry, do you change your approach at all? Because those are 2 pretty good pitches, right?
Yeah, you do a little bit. You maybe try to move him off the plate a little bit so he can't go out there and just kind of flick that ball down the left field and maybe show him something else. I mean, you're not getting hurt, but he looks like he can handle that kind of delivery. So either go out a little further, so if he hits it, it's a foul ball, or move him off the plate a little bit. Cut a slider, throw him a fastball in tight, move him off the plate.
Once again, trying to keep Pena from scoring.
Protect your pitching room. That's the name of the game. Protect. It's your pitching room. You can't let these hitters dive over there and take that pitching room away. Remember what we said about Paul Mahalam all year. He throws that sinker away from those right-hand batters, and they go out there and take it away. So he started cutting in and getting the ball in on him to take him off that sinker. That'd be a good idea for Charlie.
A lot of first pitch strikes for him.
Never hurts. 0-2. Get him to chase. You got a little wiggle room now. Now, would he go upstairs after showing him stuff down and getting that sight line down? Yeah. So you take a ride, take a shot. Now that caught a flyer there, but up around the chest area, just under the neck. I don't mean under the neck, that close to him, but that kind of height. You get a guy seeing enough sinkers, he'll chase that high fastball. It looks very tempting after looking downstairs.
Marlon Byrd, again wearing that protective piece attached to the helmet after suffering the broken jaw hit by a pitch against the Boston Red Sox earlier this year. They had him on the DL for a few weeks.
Yeah, they're designed by Andrew Lloyd Webber from Phantom of the Opera.
Broken bat, softly hit back to Charlie Morton.
Peanut butter and jam.
Charlie Morton has kept the Cubbies off the board through 4 innings. This will be fun to watch on the AGH cam.
Every pitcher loves
the whole public to know that we got the best ground crew in baseball.
You got locks like this, we don't want to fuck them up.
You
Fucking up my spoiler, cuz.
Because does it get curly in the humidity and stuff like this?
Man,
It's all curly and shit, yeah.
The humidity, the mist.
Yeah, well, you know, it's tough. It's tough when you have a hairdo that requires, you know, an arid kind of an atmosphere to live in.
In other words, you know what Snyder was talking about? You mean?
Yeah.
How about this all-access night, Steve? We're everywhere, and we've got a few innings to go yet, too.
Well, it's kind of neat because people don't get to see the inside stuff or what's going on in a dugout, the atmosphere around a World Series suite or down in the truck where they're going to have a chance to check that out. So
we're going to go inside the truck?
Oh, yeah, we're going to go. Yeah. Well, you got to have a special permit, of course.
Yeah. Danny Potash going to be in the trailer, huh?
But, you know, you watch a ball game, okay, you see the field, you see the batter, you see the pitcher and everything. Now you get to see, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on around a ballpark that people have no awareness of. I mean, how many hundreds of people does it take to put a ball game on other than the player? I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about people that, ticket takers, ushers, people that take care of the stadium, maintenance people, the ground crew guys, you know, the food, the concession people. It's an amazing. It's in the hundreds. I mean, way up in the hundreds.
Got a lot more coming your way. Soft pop up to short. Well, we were talking in our open at the lunchroom. There it is. The parrot was there. And this is the stuff that, again, and Jeff Mitchell is sitting with us. We're going, it's our pregame meeting as we're seated next to the Parrot. He has his bird seed there. And the nice thing about him, Steve, he's quiet. He doesn't interrupt us as we're chatting and going over the game plan. A little salt and pepper for his bird seed.
Yeah, when we talk too much, they say we have too much bird seed.
Yep,
he's fine.
He's got the napkin there. Line shot by Derek Lee. Derek Lee, who lined out to short his first time up. Now it's Ludwig.
Hit sharply enough to get by Castro, and you got to hit it pretty sharply to get by him. AGH Cam again showing some great shots.
Now Ludwig, who grounded to short in the second.
We'll get Ryan off the schneid. See Mr. Garza out there wearing Bob Walk's old number 17. Doesn't throw as hard as Bob did, but
no. Few do.
Few do. And on the hands, we talk about Charlie getting in on the hands. Mr. Garza can do it also. Check out the location. Try to get the hands in, get the body out of the way, but that ball gets to you so quickly, it's not the easiest thing to do. Unless you're guessing, and then you can hit that ball a long way.
One ball, two strikes on Ludwig. One-time second-round pick of the Oakland A's in 1999. Went to the Rangers in a trade in January of 2002. Indians got him July of 2003. Then signed a minor league deal with the Tigers. Just really couldn't stay healthy. Never really got an opportunity. Finally did get that chance after signing a minor league deal with the Cardinals before the 2006 season. And took off in 2007. His real breakout year, his first full season with St. Louis, 2008, 37 homers, 113 RBIs. Following year, 22 home runs, drove in 97 for the Redbirds, and traded to San Diego last summer. Yes, he did, according to the home plate umpire, Bob Davidson. Strikeout victim.
We'll slow it down once again.
Well, we didn't get to all these. Our AT&T Mobility Trivia question. 5 players who have more appearances here at PNC Park, more than Joe Beimel. We've got 3 we think are correct. Mahalam, Grabo, Caps. And, oh no, Mahalam is not on there. He had plenty of starts to get to 100.
Torres and Marte. Scott Sauerbeck.
Sauerbeck. How about Damaso Marte having 103? Torres was the rubber arm pitcher, wasn't he? He was used about every day, and so it seemed. This ball hit the other way by Alvarez, and a base hit.
There's a little payback for what Mr. Pena's been doing.
And another hit for Alvarez. Starting to feel a little bit more confident.
Strong enough to push it beyond the reach of Castro.
There's talking, Steve, about Clint Hurdle saying, hey, if you got a pitch in your zone, that first pitch, be more aggressive.
Yep, the only thing
to see early swings now from him.
Yep. Because it's so easy to get behind in the count against Major League pitching. 0-1, it swings the pendulum toward the pitcher every time.
And now, first and second, 2 outs for Cedeno. Like Derek Lee, a former Cub.
And Cedeno able to drive the ball. Marlon Byrd out in center field playing very short, very shallow, confident in his ability to go back.
Did he? First base umpire Lance Barrett says no.
Soriano playing very short. Byrd playing short. They're all short. You can find a gap now. You can have everybody running for a while.
Two-one count now on Cedeno. Bounce to shortstop in the second. Hits even at 3 apiece. And popped them up. Marlon Byrd in right center field. Pirates strand a couple. They have left 4 through the first 4 innings.
There's about 20 gypsies that run around here on an every night basis, and everything from video to graphics to audio runs through this. And each one of these 40 screens, 40 TV screens, that's a lot to keep eye on, especially Jeff Mitchell, our director. And if you've been logged on to rootsports.com, you've been listening to his call throughout the game. And Jeff, how's it going tonight?
Hey, Danny, I'm working here.
I know you're working.
Come on,
but it's all access, dude.
All access. Okay, for you, I'll do that. We're here, like I said, we have 19 cameras. Pull out a little bit, Danny. Show the wall. We have 19 cameras. Pete Thomas over here calls it tape machines over to the left. And we have different cameras that do. Camera 1 is on the pitcher. Camera 2 is your main camera that follows the ball. 4 is the camera that you use for the pitch. Ready 4. Like the pitch is starting to come now. Ready 4. Take 4. I'll show you that. Now we'll put you in a double box in a second. Bring in a bug. There's your bug. That's your score bug. Let's see, the pitch is coming. It's a pitch. Ready 6 on the batter. Take 6 on the batter. That's kind of the pattern. Ready, insert font 1, animate. And that's what we do here. Ready 4 clean, take 4 clean. Johnny, stand by a 19 double box. And it's all the 19 double box. And here we are. Okay, we're down a little box, double box for Johnny. Johnny's our technical director. He sets everything up on the switcher. Ricky is in audio, make sure all the audio, all your effects mics get working. When the ball is hit, John will go to 2 clean. Ready 6, take 6. Ready 9, give me a wide shot, put 6 in the box. Ready 9, ready to put 9 in the box, John, put 9 in the box. There's your splash camera that you see all over the place. Like I said, we have 19 cameras over the ballpark. Ready 4, take 4 in the box. And ready 2 if he hits it. And that's kind of it, Danny. That's it in a nutshell. Ready 1, take 1. Ready to dissolve 1 clean, John. Dissolve 1 clean. Rick, we're going to go to replay here. Where is it? Ready to affect red,
To your left is our producer, Pete Thomas, so he'll sometimes give you suggestions on what cameras to take and which direction to head.
Ready dissolve mode, Yep, Pete calls the replays here. We work with all the cameras are designated to different replays. Ready out to 4 and out to 4, John. Designated, every machine has a different camera punched into it that the guys in the tape room decide ready 2, take 2. They call up different shots for us. Ready 6, take 6. And if we want it like 3, let me see hurdle. I want camera 3 to give me hurdle. We'll call on that. Ready 3. If you can find him in the dugout, is he there? We're looking for him right now. I don't see him. There's Ray Searage. Ready 1, take 1. There's hurdle on 1. Ready 4, take 4.
So this is pretty busy work for a 9-inning game. I want to know what it was like during a 19-inning game where you guys were talking like this for 7 hours.
Yeah, it was a long night. It was a long night. We, I think we had a couple of adult beverages after that, just to kind of get us going. Right? Oh, here's our announcer.
I think the guys in the booth want some coverage.
They want it back. Ready 4. Ready 16. Ready 4. Take 4. We're going up to the booth camera. Ready 16. And take 16.
See, we're talking now.
Ready booth. Ready booth.
16, John, if you can. Not right now. Ready 4, John.
Not back to 1. Not back to 1.
Then ready.
Ready 1. Back to 1.
19.
Just so folks know at home, there's usually at least 100 voices all buzzing through our ears throughout the night from many different people. That you just hear Greg Brown and Steve Blass, as you will tonight, but there's so much going on behind the scenes. Sometimes it's hard to stay focused, and I guess, Mitchell, you're busy, and I hope that we don't go to 19 innings tonight, but thanks for the time.
Danny, thank you very much.
All right, guys, as you can see, it's very busy below Section 105. Lots of fun with the Gypsies. Let's send it back up to you.
I don't know how
That's fascinating.
he does it. I don't know how they do it. And Charlie Morton has struck out a pair back-to-back for numbers 3 and 4. Gets Soriano after striking out Soto. Good pitching from Charlie Morton, and now he'll face the 8th man in the order, Tyler Colvin, in a scoreless game. The AGH cam.
A little something off the fastball for you here. 81 miles an hour. You see Soriano way out in front. And consider this: Charlie Morton has recorded 1 outfield out, and that was the leadoff man in the ballgame. 1 outfield out. 1. We're in the 5th inning. Jeff Mitchell, great stuff.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
And again, you can listen throughout the game, all access night. Root Sports Director Jeff Charlie Mitchell. Listen to him cut the game at pittsburgh.rootsports.com. And as I said, we are able to talk to Pete and Jeff and others in the truck by using our talkback. 1 ball, 1 strike. You want to try that, guys? I didn't.
Steve Blass will let from order.
Steve's ordering now. He's ordering a Charlie Morton strikeout. He's talking, as you can see, you can't hear him on the air because he's talking to the trailer. That's if you have to cough. That's the cough. Well, it's supposed to be a cough. You hit the cough button, so you're not on the air. There's a strike 3 call. Charlie Morton. That's Charlie striking out 3 in a row. Morton with a K. And many of the fans giving him a standing O. His case with Bob Davidson. Here's Tyler Colvin getting tossed because he didn't like the call. Close, very close to being a strike. You see on our strike zone, it was a bit inside.
Yeah, but you've got the human element there, regardless of that grid. That is the bottom line in this whole thing. You're going to get some of those calls. You're not going to get them, and when you beef enough to get yourself thrown out on that close a pitch, well. Meanwhile, the whole thing is Charlie Morton. That's the story right here. 5 innings, got 5 strikeouts now, 1 ball out.
Quade hands his lineup card to Pat Listash, his bench coach, and heads down the runway and into his office. Reed Johnson takes over in right field for Tyler Colvin.
How about the difference in this ball game compared to last night?
Yep.
It's incredible. I mean, you can never predict what's going to be happening.
And no disrespect to the Cubs, but I saw some quotes from, I don't know if there's Quade, I don't know direct quotes, but basically saying, hey, this could really, and it's understandable. You win a game like that, you say this could really carry us. Well, so far, last night's game has meant nothing. And Hurdle has talked about that before. Whether you win or lose, don't let your confidence factor depend on what happened the night before.
Well, what does every manager say?
You're the old cliche, you're only as good as your following night's starter.
Yep.
Michael McHenry.
But we all beg for a game like that will clear the air. And let everybody relax a little bit. Every manager, every ball club wants that kind of game every once in a while.
Morton has pitched very well. So too has Garza. He has allowed just 3 singles, 1 an infield hit. He walked McHenry to lead off the 3rd.
And he has had, just 2 outfield putouts.
One walk, 4 strikeouts, and a pop-up. Starlin Castro. 1 up, 1 down in the home half of the 5th inning.
How about the real good shortstops like the Jose Reyes and the Star? They not only play their position well, they hit well, they run well, but they play their position with a little flair. It's not just the routine. It seems like the shortstops come out of central casting for that kind of approach to the game. A little extra bounce in the step, a little extra energy, a little flair for the dramatic at times.
Talked about Castro's offense. Came in hitting over 300. Now with 7 hits and 12 at bats in this series with his 1-for-2 performance tonight. And we discussed this also last night. The one area where no doubt he and the Cubs expect a great improvement as he matures, the defense. Though he will make those flashy, fine plays, he has committed 18 errors, 27 last year.
You want your shortstop to make all the plays that he should, and then if he can put a little mustard on, a little frosting on the cake at times, that's great. But you want the shortstop to be one of your most consistent defenders. He gets the most action.
Well, the Bucks will host the Padres at 1:35 on Sunday, the finale of the homestand, and all kids 14 and under get an Andrew McCutchen drawstring bag courtesy of Bayer. We invite you to come out early for the #1 Cochran Kids Fun Zone right outside the ballpark on Federal Street, and stay after the game. All kids can run the bases thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. That's this Sunday against the Padres. Here's Terry Kistler with the RF camera fighting the raindrops, and nobody working, with all due respect to the folks in the trailer, I don't know if anybody's working harder than Terry tonight. Terry's like Sangy. It's a shock. He's smiling.
Yeah. All the time.
Another pop-up. So skied way up there. Coming in from right field, Reed Johnson. 1, 2, 3 go the Bucks. Scoreless through 5.
And this is my home for the evening. One of the first tweets I put out today was asking, it's dinner time, what's the best food to eat at PNC Park? And I got a lot of options, pizza, nachos, always good at the ballpark. But here at PNC Park, I was told to go to Manny's Barbecue and order the pulled pork pierogi stacker. Now my next tweet is going to be, should I eat it all myself or share it with Steve Blass and Greg Brown? So I hope you guys are hungry. The most creative tweet was telling me to catch some fish in the river between innings. I'm not a very good fisherman, but I know there's a couple Pirates who could probably help me with that. Guys?
Absolutely. Lacey, thanks very much. We continue to follow.
Tweet, share the sandwich. Tweet, share the sandwich.
Just keep tweeting that. Share the sandwich. All Access Night. Follow us on Twitter at Root Sports Pit. Like us on Facebook, Root Sports. As Garza swings and misses, Root Sports Pittsburgh region. Text keyword booth and your question to 412-412.
Take him, Charlie. Take him yourself. Or move him back off of the plate like you did that first at bat. Ooh, a strikeout roll for Mr. Morton.
Yes, he did. That's 4 in a row, 6 on the night. And here's what Steve was talking about, a strikeout roll. This is the 5th inning facing Soto, Soriano, and Colvin.
Mr. Soto over top of the sinker. Soriano away from the breaking ball. Inside corner, gets the call. Mr. Garza steps up in the 6th. The slider or cutter outside, picking up the outside corner. Charlie is expecting to make pitches right now instead of hoping. He's on that kind of roll, and you ride it as long as you can.
Strike 1 on Castro. He's flied out, singled, caught stealing. 1 of 3 hits, 2 doubles from Carlos Pena, and the single by Castro.
You go up and in with the moving fastball, 90 miles an hour, and then you go down and away, and you come away from that little 1-2 punch, 0-2. Castro a little flare to right center, and Pena a couple of flares to left. That's how dominant Charlie has been tonight. Now let's see what he does out in front, 0-2. Stay away from the middle of the hitting zone.
Intentionally. See Henry asking for it. Maybe not that poor a pitch. Should have been a tad better, but 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's the thing. 0-2. You saw Charlie go way upstairs, a high fastball, too high, and this one too far outside. Now he'll tighten those kind of programs, those deliveries up as he goes along. He doesn't have to miss by that much because they can still be effective setup pitches.
Oh, reaching out and one-handing it into left.
That's just not fair.
This guy is something. Starlin Castro.
We'll have a chance to take a look at a good bit of hitting on a breaking ball downstairs. I mean, that ball is starting at the knees and winding up being hit below the knees. Just kind of throwing the bat one-handed at it. And when you're on a roll like Castro is, you're going to get those kind of hits. There's not much you can do about it. Charlie would throw that same pitch in a lot of situations and get a lot of outs. Now, they got him trying to steal last time. In this type of a ball game, you can't assume that because they threw him out that they'll stop running. It's a 0-0 ball game. 1 run could be huge, so don't assume that he's not going to go just because he got burned last time.
Caught stealing, the 5th of the season against Castro in 17 tries. So he's 1 for 2 in the stolen base department in this series, but he has 8 hits in 13 at bats in the first 3 games. Darwin Barney, no easy out, having a fine rookie year.
And Castro came into the series hitting .299. He's up around .310 now, and that's after a bunch of at bats at this point in the season.
Have been the offense tonight. Ball 1. Starlin Castro stole 10 bases in 18 attempts last year in 125 games his rookie season.
Not a great percentage, really.
There he goes, and it's grounded foul.
But the way you learn your craft as a base stealer, you've got to do it in major league situations. You really can't get too much done in spring training. You can get a little bit, but when the season starts, that's where you got to learn your craft, and it's not an automatic thing to perfect base stealing.
And there's no way to practice it. You have to go in games.
Yeah, that's the point.
Some would call it a lost art, but a lot of general managers and managers, as we have gone away from the power numbers, are starting to again stress the importance of speed and base running and stolen bases.
I always remember a video by Lou Brock talking about the art of the steal. He said people think it's legs. Yeah, it's part of legs, but it's really the upper body thrust when you make the move. You throw your upper part of your body, and your legs won't let you fall down. They'll take you there.
2-1 on Darwin Barney with 1 out.
We talked about the footwork of when you have that lead. If you can visualize your right foot is towards second base, you can't take the first step with that one, because then that delays your start. You've got to swing that left foot over to start your trip to second base. That right foot is a pivot foot.
Not going, and a base hit to left. It's first and second as Darwin Barney lines it past short.
Hit sharply enough where Cedeno had no chance to get it. Not that far away from Ronnie, but the ball was stung. And right there at first and second, you're looking at a big part of the future for the Chicago Cubs, regardless of what they do in the offseason. This second base shortstop situation could be long term. And we're going back to Beckert and Kessinger way back. Glenn Beckert, by the way, a native of the north side of Pittsburgh, north side. Great players.
Great Cubs infielders. Now following along in that tradition, young Castro and Barney. Now the first, you'd have to say, really big test, though he had Carlos Pena aboard at second with nobody out. Now he's got first and second in the 6th with 1 out, and facing Ramirez,
who loves to take a whack at the first pitch of an at bat.
And he goes the other way, and it's shallow, and the catch is made by Garrett Jones.
First pitch hitting again. Ramos Ramirez, they get him.
WGH cam shows Ramirez. Ball hit to shallow right. And now it's Carlos Pena who has twice hit the ball really off the end of his bat. Opposite field doubles. Ask about the approach. And will Morton and McHenry go in
or further out? In. Yep. Yeah, you see enough approaches by a particular batter going a particular way each time, and you got to try to get him away from that if he's successful.
One ball, no strikes on Pena. What will this next pitch be? Breaking ball for a strike.
And who knows how much is helped by that first pitch that got him off the plate a little bit. It didn't hurt any. Let's put it that way.
Pena with 112 strikeouts on the year. 5th most in the league.
You watch Michael McHenry setting up. He'll show you a lot by his positioning.
Breaking ball missed in. 2-1 count on Carlos Pena. Very dangerous hitter in his first year with the Chicago Cubs. He and Matt Garza, former Rays. Garza on the mound tonight, and Pena Gold Glove first baseman.
I'm guessing here. I'm guessing they'll finally go away. They've shown him several pitches inside. Let's see what Michael does.
Yep, missed. Now 3-1. Big time test.
Now the theory on a hitter many times 3-2 or 3-1 rather. Well, he won't shorten up too much because he's still in the driver's seat. If they get to 3-2, then he'll shorten up by protecting the plate more. But now he can afford to look for something inside that he can drive because he's still got a strike to work with. I'm talking about Pena.
Time is called. Marlon Byrd is the on-deck batter. Carlos Pena, 20 homers, 53 runs batted in. Castro and Barney aboard. Good speed on the bases. Strike called. Breaking pitch. Now, Steve Blass, you're on the mound. What do you throw Carlos Pena on a 3-2 pitch?
I'm thinking about crowding him now as he goes for a nice breaking ball when Pena is looking for the heat. Only because Pena, I would think, will be shortening up to try to protect, make contact. So he'll be trying to protect outside for that sinker. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to crowd him. But maybe go with the bread and butter pitch. Your sinker is your best pitch, Charlie. They go with the breaking ball.
Lays off. McHenry wanted an appeal, but won't get it. So the bases are loaded.
It's kind of unfair to really speculate a lot on what particular pitch they're going to try, but it's kind of fun to play along.
Yeah, just to say what you would say. Not speculating what they would do, but what you would do. It's part of the fun of it. Now time called. Ray Searage.
Yep. And okay, why do you throw the breaking ball? Because they're thinking together, he and McHenry, that Pena's going to sit on a fastball. They went with a breaking ball, 3-1. Would they do it again at the risk of loading the bases? Well, probably not. So if Charlie threw it over the plate, he might get another surprise, maybe a flinch and a call third strike. You got to feel that Pena is looking for Charlie's best pitch, which is the sinking fastball. Tried to fool him, didn't work that time.
All access night here. That, of course, the view from center field looking up at our Root Sports booth locale. And from behind, this is where we are, and this is what we see.
Get the great look down on the ballpark, across the river.
Sorry, stage manager Greg Simkovich, who is handling things for us. He is kind of like our producer in the booth with us.
He is. Yep. But we get to look at the field. We get to look at the river, the skyline across the river. It's just a gorgeous look night after night.
Jam shot rolled to second. Nice work, Charlie Morton.
Jammed him, sawed him off.
He gets Marlon Byrd, and they leave them loaded. Our view from the booth here at PNC Park on an all-access night on Root Sports.
A lot of action today, boys. A lot of action. A lot of action with that singer going today, kid. Come on, get it ready. Come on.
Nick Leva, not only third base coach, of course, but Pirate infield instructor. So he's saying a lot of action tonight, boys, with that sinker working.
Yep.
Talking to his infielders. And Charlie Morton does have the good sinking fastball working. Talking to Kevin Correa. Man, did the Pirates and Charlie Morton need this? Of course, they need a win. But boy, Morton needed this one.
You need to study the ship with the starting rotation. You really do. They've done such a good job for such a big part of the season, and I just wanted to get back. Maybe they can't get back to that level. It was so very good, but now that they're starting to sting the ball tonight, notwithstanding, that would be a good combination.
Garrett Jones at the plate has struck out twice. Dan Corso's got our camera up here in the booth. In a minute, I guess we're going to get a good look at all the junk that we have. Well, it's not junk to us.
It's your bale of hay.
Yeah,
I know that.
But we've got all types of information. Of course, you have to have your binoculars.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. You have to have Pearl, the eraser.
You have to have Pearl. And, of course, I use all kinds of different pens and the highlighters.
Yeah.
And you've got the media guides.
And how about the Bob Prince pencil, the red and black lead that Bob Prince...
Gunner taught you that, huh?
Yep, he did. 1,000 years ago. Red for offense, black for defense. On the scorecard. Yep.
Of course, the game information sheets that we have from the...
I don't know if we can get the red and black.
No, you can't, but thanks.
Can't, but trust me, it's there. Bob Prince scorecard from way back.
And of course, we have the iPad, which gives us the promo reads, and this is what I have to do. And I think I need reading glasses, Steve, for this. So, wait, I punch one. Which one? I'm just being told on my headset. Any one of them, Steve, you can punch. Okay.
PNC achievement,
which we've done already. And I don't know how to get rid of it, to be honest with you. So I'll just start punching, and that's why we need Greg.
And we're hearing Jeff Mitchell in our background because Jeff was a star there during an entire half inning. And,
but they've got the Root Sports promos here all on this iPad, the Pirate drop-ins. So if they say...
it's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah. The last dangerous. Greg, nicknamed Dash, to give us... All right. Promo coming up. A little tight to Garrett Jones.
Talking about coming up and in. Chin music, chest music.
Now that's the AGH cam. In a moment, Dan, maybe you'll shoot the spy cam. There's a line foul shot by Garrett Jones, well out in front, but look out, Lacey.
Yeah, this is a violation. We got a violation of the Broadcasters Union Agreement.
There's the spy cam. See, it's there all the time. See? That's all access. That's what you don't see normally.
Yep,
that's the shot.
When you want to talk and the play-by-play guy won't let you talk.
Which happens a lot.
Which should happen a lot.
You know, sometimes like at Wrigley Field when bullpens are in play, there again a look at the spy cam and our shots, and
there's no hiding in the world anymore.
Nope. All popped up, and Greg has even put up our we got this gift from a Root Sport fan a few weeks ago, Bill, for pup night, so that we all knew what breeds there were, and what we have found out there are 162 dogs on there. So obviously a baseball season, 162 games, as Jones goes down on strikes.
That's like the Civil Air Patrol when we used to go up on the hill and try to identify the airplanes.
All right, we'll check out our Barrel Automotive League leaders. And here they are, batting average, National League since July the 1st. Neil Walker, the league leader since the 1st of July, just in front of Emilio Bonifacio, the Florida Marlins. Barrel Automotive, definitely worth the click. There it is. You can be a promo reader too. One out, Neil Walker at the plate. Garza has punched out 6. Walker showing bunt, trying to at least draw Ramirez in a bit. Maybe even Pena.
incredible, the change in the atmosphere around this ballpark tonight from last night. And the ball was flying all over the place. Now you got Garza and Morton just dealing. No runs. Was it last night 21 and 11? So they had 21 hits, 11 runs. We had 6 runs and a ton of hits. Remember how we used to say, we hate to waste this pitching tonight. Yeah. Last night you hated to waste 6 runs.
Yeah.
Well, that's the game. That's the season. You get a little bit of everything along the way.
Charlie Morton, very efficient. 80 pitches. Garza's thrown 76.
Working on a bad hair day. Charlie's dealing.
One ball, 2 strikes on Neil Walker. Grounded to second base his first time up, popped to short in the 4th inning. The 2 pitchers tonight, Matt Garza and Charlie Morton. Garrett Jones standing by. There's Charlie.
You talk about this year that Garza has had. The reason we go back to why they say he's the best starter, just 4 wins, but he has had 11 starts where the Cubs have scored 2 runs or less in support. So we talked about Paul Maholm, yep, but Garza has as little or littler support, less support than Paul.
Now full count.
He's made 20 starts, now 21 starts. No runs tonight, so that's now 12 out of the 20, 2 runs or less in terms of support. So that's why they're so high on him, and it's the reason why he only has 4 wins.
The reason
this
why
guy's tough.
They traded prospects to get Garza over the winter.
A ton of them.
All fouled out of play.
And you wonder if they do unbuckle and dismantle this team, how much it's going to just raise Cain with the with a farm system. Well, they're going to have to add to the farm system. It's already kind of in disarray.
Garza was traded for a handful of prospects, including their minor league player of the year and pitcher of the year. And he strikes out Neil Walker. Said he's averaging 9 strikeouts per 9.
Right on target here.
Derek Lee has lined to short and singled to center. Cubs have out hit the Pirates 5-3. Still scoreless in the bottom of the 6th. Jim Henry there on your right. And Peter Chase looks like the media relations director for the Cubs to his left. Jim Henry has been under fire a bit over the last couple of years in terms of the money that has been spent and hasn't produced the wins. It really was kind of surprising that they didn't trade players like Aramis Ramirez and Carlos Pena.
Maybe replenish that farm system.
Although we said a lot of Ramirez still being here has to do with Ramirez probably turning down potential trades. Alfonso Soriano just making a ton of money yet. So don't know that he was available. And as you like to point out, Stephen, Neil Huntington says trades are made after July 31st. And it gets fun and interesting. Look out. Derek Lee buzzed by Garza.
That one above the chest, up under the chin. And regardless of what people say or think, that gets in the head of a hitter. So when it goes back away,
3-0.
you will see so many times after up and in, effectively up and in, a pitcher goes away and it's not the same kind of swing. There's the up and in, and now here's the swing after.
Well, it was almost like Derek Lee was determined after getting buzzed on 3. I'm swinging. Obviously pitched well out of the zone on a 3-0 offering, and pops this ball up shallow center. Second baseman out, and Barney is there. 1, 2, 3. We move to the 7th inning. All access night here on Root Sports. Between innings, this is what you get. Steve, we're on the air. Steve?
Oh.
Steve, we're on.
Go get him, Charlie. Give me your best, buddy. I'm with you.
Saggy
every pitch.
And pierogies. Huh. You think he's not treated like a king? Look at him. Thanks, Lacey, by the way. Thanks, Lacey, for getting Steve that sandwich and pierogi.
Yeah, a little late, Lacey.
Well, you guys, I had a lot of tweets coming through. And, Greg, I've got to tell you, everybody had Blas's back. Everyone said, share it with the guys. So I got my own sandwich, and I'm going to enjoy that in a few minutes. But I like the tweet from Drew Davis, who said, share with Steve, but not Greg. And that's because he's going to be busy saying, raise the Jolly Roger. So.
All right. I guess I'll accept that.
Go get him, Charlie.
Kind of weak excuse, but I'll take it.
I'm with you all the way, Charlie. Go get him, buddy.
Stuff you just don't see, but this happens every night. Charlie Morton facing Giovanni Soto and falls behind 2-0. He has grounded out and struck out. And 3 balls, no strikes. He walked Carlos Pena on a 3-2 pitch in the 6th inning. He came back to get the pitcher Garza behind the count 3-0 in the 3rd. He's going to have to do the same here to Soto. And it's a 4-pitch walk. And as the 7th inning begins, is that a red flag? Does the phone ring in the bullpen? Even though he's thrown just 85 pitches.
Certainly not a panic situation yet. They're hovering around the phone, and I guess they're going to answer it now. I mean, it's not an emergency. A man on base in a scoreless game, you don't want to see anything get out of hand.
It is the first time, if he gets even 1 out in this 7th inning. There's a line drive, and he will, and a quick throw to first base. Boy, Alvarez with that just rifle arm made that much closer. Soto wasn't off the bag all that much.
You can see Pedro right there, sitting on the line, quick release. Man, great positioning. That ball goes down the left field corner. You got all kind of issues going on.
Now faces Reed Johnson. After Tyler Colvin struck out twice, another right-hand hitter for Morton. Colvin, the left-handed hitter, was ejected.
And you're in the part of the batting order that lends itself to Charlie getting himself out of this. Look at that sink on that fastball. 90 miles an hour down.
Looking for that all-important ground ball now, Steve.
Yep.
From Reed Johnson.
But quickly they're scrambling in the Cubs bullpen with Garza in the on-deck circle. I was looking out there. They had the cover on, but quickly the cover's yanked off, and they're going to get somebody loosening up. I was surprised here in the 7th inning to see that they didn't already have action, but now they get it going.
And just going back to a point about Morton going even 6 1/3 innings. This is the longest he has gone in a ball game since June the 4th.
Well, all of a sudden something clicked in tonight because he has been scuffling. With the last 8 starts, an ERA over 7. And tonight he is back to where he was early in the year, where he's just pounding the zone downstairs, pounding it.
0-2 the count, and shaking off McHenry here. See if they can come to an agreement ahead of the count on Reed Johnson,
who's been a thorn in the Pirates' side.
Sinking fastball. Tapper and rolled foul. Showed you this graphic in the open, month to month for Charlie Morton.
April good, May better, and then it started to slide badly in June. I mean badly. I told you about the last 8 starts covering June and July. But tonight, May Day. He's back to May, where they had that. He had that 2.06 ERA.
Shaking off McHenry a couple of times. What does Morton want to do here? A little chopper. First baseman Derek Lee will take the out. Runner moving to second into scoring position. And Matt Garza is going to bat.
Well, this big item. Charlie got a chance to put a 0 up here against your mound opponent. You got to bury him. And it's not automatic, but this is as good an opportunity as you're going to get out of a little situation in the 7th inning of a scoreless game. This is where you got to give everything you got right now.
Garza has 3 hits and 54 career plate appearances.
So easy to swing over the top of that sinker, and that's exactly what Matt did there.
It's interesting that they were scrambling to get a pitcher up, and just for this situation, I'm talking about up in the bullpen, and they decide to stick with Garza with a potential run on second base. James Russell up,
especially when the runner got in scoring position.
So you wonder if Russell's just going to sit down now.
You got to believe he will.
And you also have to wonder, we always do when a manager is ejected, is the call coming in from the runway down below, or is Quaddy back in his office?
You know there's communication. I mean,
some managers go right back. Hurdle goes into the clubhouse, into his office, and watches the game. He has no communication. But some do. Some will hang out, and there's a strikeout. A big one. What a performance and a bounce back effort from Charlie Morton when the Pirates needed it most tonight. Allowing just 5 hits and no runs, and 7th inning stretch time at PNC Park.
Follow the bouncing Eaton Park Smiley Cookie and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Charlie Morton doing a number on the Cubbies tonight. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Bucks need to get him a run.
Got to get Charlie some offense. Get him some runs. Make him eligible for. I don't know if he's going to go out for the 8th inning. You never know anymore. But he has been absolutely terrific tonight. Great work. Great work.
Well, if he is done, let's get him that run. Ludwig, Alvarez, and Cedeno. Resop loosening the bullpen. And that is looks like pretty much a finish as a proud pitching coach Ray Searage and his battery mate Michael McHenry. What a job. Charlie in the fort. And Ray. And Ludwig at the plate. He's bounced out and struck out against Garza.
One of the things that can go into a factor of removing a pitcher when he's pitched 7 scoreless innings, pitch that's dropped in first strike, is the fact that Charlie has been struggling so much and they don't want to do anything that would diminish against a tremendous performance. In other words, he throws 7 scoreless, goes out, gives up 2 or 3 or 4 in the 8th, and it just takes the glow off a terrific performance. So you let it continue to be positive. You put it on the books as a positive 7-inning no-run performance, and then there's no blemishes, no risk of blemish. That's one school of thinking. There are other schools of thinking also, and we've gone over them chapter and verse. But
that's one that a lot of managers share. Yep. A situation like this.
Yep.
Ludwig pops it up to right. Still in search of his first bucko hit as Reed Johnson makes the easy play. We'll bring up Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez has hit safely now in 4 of his last 5 games, including tonight's base hit to left his last time up. Struck out in the 2nd.
Wouldn't you love to see him run into one? For Charlie and the Bucks.
Alvarez with 4 hits in the series.
One more to go. Cubbies will be in here also tomorrow night before they leave town. The Padres come in.
Garza gets Alvarez to chase upstairs.
Late on a high fastball.
Nail biting time or jersey biting time. Another opposite field hit for Alvarez. Maybe an indication that he's going to even all fields.
Well, anything positive for Pedro. You get the mind right a little bit. You know, he's certainly got enough power to drive the ball, but if it starts out with a bunch of singles just to get a better feel, confidence at the plate, well, it's a foundation for him.
A 1-out single. Cedeno has grounded to short and flied to center.
Now, the Cubs certainly not concerned about him running. He has stolen a base.
Fly ball to right. Steve talking about the Padres coming in following tomorrow night's series finale. The Padres in for 3, and Friday night it begins on a Free Shirt Friday. Kevin Correa models the free shirt you'll receive when you attend Friday night's game courtesy of Trib Total Media. Come out early to Federal Street before the game. Enjoy live music and festivities during the Barrel Kia Block Party. For tickets, go to pirates.com/Free Shirt Friday. McHenry has walked and popped up. He has hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games, batting .324 over that stretch.
Interesting. Marlon Byrd, who plays very shallow as a regular practice, extremely deep in center field now. They want to cut off any double. Even if it's a gap shot, hold the Pirates to runners at 2nd and 3rd in this 2-out situation, so he is quite deep.
One ball, 1 strike count. Matt Daya is on deck to bat for Charlie Morton. Should McHenry reach. One and two, and of course, as we get later in this ball game in a close one, keep in mind the Pirates have a new switch hitter available tonight. A guy who has come through in late inning situations in the past, Ryan Domit.
In the building and ready to go.
And popped up. Second baseman Barney. Nothing across. On to the 8th. Charlie Morton certainly did his job. Defense all that much as Charlie Morton struck out 7, walked a couple, gave up 5 hits. Just a dominating performance. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And Charlie Morton joins us now. Charlie, I know you're probably going to downplay this, but we're not. We've been talking you up because this is just an outstanding effort. Congratulations. You have to feel great about it.
Yeah, well, I feel good about it. I mean, I feel like I did my job and I kept the team in the game.
Charlie, you got on top of the ball real good tonight. It looked like 90, 91 miles an hour with a sinker. A lot of balls being swung at and on the top of the baseball.
Yeah, well, I felt like I was getting a good run on the ball as well as I was getting a good sink on the ball. I think that's as crucial as me getting sink, and the ball. The sink obviously wasn't as big as it's been. I mean, I looked a couple of times to see where we were at in terms of velocity. It looked like it was pretty much the same as it's been. First inning, it felt a little bit stronger, but all in all, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same stuff I've been having. It's just we emphasize trying to keep the ball down.
Charlie, Pena went the opposite way a couple times to left field, and then it looked like the third time up you tried to crowd him a little bit. Was that part of the plan? You wanted to take maybe that pitch away from him?
Well, I mean, he's a good hitter, and I think he demonstrated that even though he wasn't really driving the ball per se, I mean, he was executing what he was trying to do. And I mean, I think that's also he demonstrated that he could hit what I was trying to accomplish. So yeah, try to throw a couple cutters in, try to throw a 4-seamer in, and change up, and try to throw some curveballs. But yeah, I mean, he was just putting the bat on the ball.
Charlie, the offense and the bullpen now has to do the work the rest of the way to get a W. But the last time the Pirates were in this kind of a slide, you stepped up against the Reds in May. How important did you feel? Was it on your shoulders to step up and do the job tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's my job every night I pitch, and unfortunately, it's been kind of like a roller coaster the past month and a half, and it's just been disappointing because I get frustrated because I know what I'm capable of doing. I'm capable of going out there and shutting a team down, and I haven't been doing that, and quite the opposite. So, it felt good to go out there and do my job.
Well, congratulations, Charlie, really, and appreciate you spending some time with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Charlie Morton on our all-access night here on Root Sports. 7 innings of 5-hit shutout ball. 0-0 going to the 8th. It's Chris Resop trying to find a way to retire Starlin Castro.
Numbers for Chris as he works in a scoreless ball game here in the top of the 8th inning. Back to the high anxiety games the Pirates have played a bunch of this year, just barely missing, or did he? Well, it's official. He did, according to Bob Davidson. Take a look at the grid here. Take a look at the grid.
Does it light up? No.
Showing that Bob Davidson made the correct call.
Hurdle doesn't agree. Castro drives one deep to left. This kid is unbelievable. Holy mackerel. 1-0 Cubs.
Got a 3-2 fastball. Looked like a 3-2 fastball. Looking for it. Got it. Buried it.
9 for 14 in this series. His 4th home run of the season. 1-0 Chicago. Starlin Castro. 9 hits in 14 at-bats. And now Darwin Barney.
Come on, Barney, keep it going.
And that's lined into right field for Barney. Into the corner, and a little misplay. Barney had thoughts of 2 anyway. He'll make it without a throw. A double for Darwin Barney.
All of a sudden, the Cubs come alive. Take a look at the strike zone, the Root Sports strike zone here. The pitch right there, right in the power zone.
Resop gives up the home run and the double, and now McHenry is trying to almost looks like console him. Ray Searage is out. You see, he's all right. I don't know.
Inconsolable. He knows exactly what Charlie Morton did tonight.
Yeah.
And now he's come in there. He's faced 2 batters, home run and double, and just it gives you a sick feeling in your stomach when you do that in this kind of ball game, knowing how much the Pirates need to win, knowing the job Charlie's done. You can understand how he feels right now. Right down the middle.
Jose Veras loosens in the bullpen, and interesting scene there. Michael McHenry was trying to settle down Resop, and then the pitching coach Ray Searage came out. Of course, that's part of the job of the pitching coach, not just physical mechanics, but working with the mental part of it, and trying to get Resop back on track. It's ball 1 on Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez tonight, a couple of ground ball outs and a fly to right.
So easy to lose your edge out there too. You're feeling so bad for your ball club and for your starter, and you just got to try to draw yourself up by your bootstraps and apply yourself here and keep it 1 run if you possibly can. Pirates have 2 more at bats. One swing of the bat can get you back even, but you can't You can't be. You got to do your best to try to not let it unravel here in the top of the 8th inning.
One ball, 2 strikes to count.
And here's a good Chris Rhysop fastball right on the outside part of the plate.
Rhysop has now given up 6 home runs on the year, a total of 19 runs in 50 innings of work, and 3 of the last 4 runs he has allowed have come via the homer.
Trying to collect himself.
Comes back and gets Ramirez for the first out.
Strike zone.
Rhysop pitched a scoreless 6th inning last night, struck out Carlos Pena, but they're going to walk him here. Marlon Byrd, who lined out to right field against Rhysop last night, will come to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. Byrd 0 for 3 against starter Charlie Morton.
You know, there's another issue here too. Clint Hurdle, you know, he's got a 1-run ball game, and if anything else happens, you're probably going to see Rhysop out of there. But you also would like to see him be able to recover, have something positive instead of going into the dugout with that horrific feeling of what has happened here in the horrific, a little strong word, but a tough situation to walk into the dugout with. So if he can get out of this with 1 run, at least he's got something to hang his hat on, even though he still is going to feel so bad about the home run. But he's going to feel worse if more happens and he goes into the dugout with that feeling.
As they say, you need at least 1 run to win a ball game. So 1 run, feel devastated, but you've got 2 more shots to at least tie it. Marlon Byrd has grounded out twice and hit a broken bat soft liner to the pitcher. Ball 1.
See, Michael McHenry turned the glove down correctly, so he's not going down with the face of the glove going down to the ground. Turns around so the fingers are down. Proper mechanics to block the ball.
And a 1-0 to Byrd. Bounced foul past Devon DeJesus. The Brewers beat the Cardinals earlier today, 10-5 in Milwaukee, as Casey McGee hit 3 home runs to lead the attack. Randy Wolf beat Edwin Jackson. The Pirates need to come back and beat the Cubs to stay 5.5 back of Milwaukee. The Cardinals have fallen 3.5 back. Cincinnati began the night just a game behind Pittsburgh. They trail at Houston. The Reds are down 2-1 in the 6th.
So it was the mighty Casey today.
I'll say.
Did not strike out.
And I guess things.
There's joy in Mudville.
There wasn't much joy last night in Milwaukee in a wild game. Players being hit by pitches. Yadier Molina ejected. Strike on Marlon Byrd, 1-2. The Pirates will have in the bottom of the inning a pinch hitter due up, and then McCutchen and Jones. So imperative that Rhysop get Bird and then Soto. Unless he can get Bird to hit a ground ball, though Rysop not known as a ground ball type pitcher.
You can take him himself right here. Almost got him to bite. And then you get to that scenario where you're holding to 1 run. You better try to do your work in the 8th inning because they got Marmol. And we all know how good he is, and he's had a couple bumps along the road, but he is very good.
Two and two, 2 on. A run in, 1 out. And time called just as Rysop was about ready to deliver.
Incredible they still allow that, but we're hollering into the wind. Someday there's going to be a pitcher that gets hurt right in mid-delivery.
Yep.
And then they'll stop allowing that late timeout.
2 and 2 on Marlon Bird. And it will remain 2 and 2 as that ball's fouled in the club level. Marlon Bird was 3 out of 3 last night. His 6th home run of the season. And as we said, Rysop got him to line out to right field in his 4th at bat of the game last night. Another 2-2 pitch. And a shot to second. Should be an inning-ending double play. It is. And Rysop gives up the leadoff homer to Starlin Castro. Pirates will have a pinch hitter in the top of their order due up. Had 13 rehab games back from the sprained ankle, which he suffered against the Chicago Cubs. Eric Fryer, who did a nice job in his games with the Pirates, will go back down to AAA and catch about every day. And Clint Hurdle pointed out that Fryer helped the Pirates win some ball games. Ryan Domit returns. He will catch tomorrow. There's Domit. He'll be in there tomorrow night against Rodrigo Lopez. The veteran goes up tomorrow for the Cubs against James McDonald. A long time Domit has been out. And now Diaz faces Garza. Diaz 1 for 3 in previous matchups against Matt Garza. Lefty up in the bullpen for the Cubs.
1 free pass for Garza. Walked McHenry back in the 3rd. Base runner required.
100th pitch on its way. 2-1. Marshall is the lefty. Sean Marshall. Garrett Jones is in the hole.
He's thrown as many as 119 pitches. The Cubs getting him his usual support. 1 run.
2-2 count on Diaz.
Still 93 miles an hour here in the 8th inning.
I don't think he liked that pitch. Said something to Bob Davidson. Whoops. 3-2. They don't like that, obviously. Being buzzed around the head.
Yep. Can't deny it does have an effect. See where Garza goes after that up and in pitch.
Checked, or did he? He did. Very close.
Second walk, and that is huge.
And now pinch runner Xavier Paul representing the tying run in the 8th. Another look on our AGH cam. And the check swing by Diaz.
We took the body around and tried to leave the bat back, and he got the call. And that's a 50%er.
Yep.
That is a 50-50 deal. We get that call going either way.
Chris Riesop was very emotional coming off the mound. Steve, we talked about it, where Ray Searage had to come out. McHenry tried to settle him down, and Riesop. All you need to know about how upset he was about giving up that home run to Castro. And now Pat Listash with McCutchen at the plate is going to go to the left-hander. Interesting. Sean Marshall will come on. Leadoff free pass. Garza also not happy. We hope you are in an all-access night. We know you'll be happier if the Pirates can bring across at least 1 run. Now 25 games his hitting streak, homered again. He has been the hottest player in the league. Casey McGee, of course, 3 homers helping the Brewers beat the Cardinals 10-5. Steven Strasburg is expected to throw a bullpen session on Friday. He could make his first rehab start in the minor leagues on Sunday. The Washington Nationals phenom J.D. Martinez, first career big league homer, 2-run shot. Astros and Reds are tied at 2 in the 6th. Last night we talked about this, D, that crazy game, the Cardinals and the Brewers. Yadier Molina takes a strike and not happy, and he is ejected, and he stayed with it. You have to believe this will lead to suspension.
That's contact, yeah. That's
out of control.
That's going nuts.
Yep.
Come on.
Silly. Matt Garza also unhappy, as was Resop.
He is saying things to his glove that you don't want to hear.
Right. Now, it is unusual for a manager, in this case the bench coach Pat Listash, to bring in a lefty to face McCutchen. But the one thing this might do, perhaps, is negate the running game. Xavier Paul, maybe not as anxious to run as perhaps he would have against the righty, and it's ball 1.
Any matchup numbers, McCutchen and Marshall?
McCutchen 0 for 5 against Marshall.
Factor, perhaps.
Yep. One ball, one strike. Yeah, all those numbers come into play. Those numbers, face to face again. McCutchen 0 for 5 against Marshall. Marshall did pitch to one batter on Monday. Got Steve Pearce on a check swing bouncer, the only man he faced.
And you always want to try hard, but in this case you don't want to try so hard you get out of the things that keep you in a good rhythm or good hitting mechanics. Don't try to hit it all the way up to Freeport.
Tap foul. And in terms of the stolen bases, interesting, against Garza, opponents attempted 8 steals this season. Half of them made it, 4 for 8. Marshall, 7 attempts against him, 6 successful. But now he's ahead 1-2. It would seem unlikely for Paul to take off here.
Strange matchup considering all those factors.
Yeah. No pickoffs. 2-2.
Trying to go with the fastball after getting out in front 1-2 with the slow stuff. You wonder if that fastball is a setup because Andrew not really having 2 good swings on the curveballs.
Hanrahan will pitch the 9th, hopefully in a save situation. And a fly ball to right, and back is Johnson. McCutchen flies to right. And now Garrett Jones will be called back against the lefty Marshall. And Steve Pearce will come up again. And Steve Pearce, he knows it just like anybody else. He hasn't had a bunch of chances, but he really is going to have to start delivering, even though it might be limited opportunities. He is 2 for 22 in the 10 games back since coming off the DL. That strained right calf. And again, it was Pearce against Marshall on Monday night, with a man on first and 2 outs in the 7th inning, and he had a little check swing dribbler in front of the plate.
Everybody deep in the outfield, while the 2 right field, center field. Soriano still very shallow in front of a normal left field positioner because there's a worn area out there, and Soriano's 2 or 3 steps in front of that. Bird and Johnson very deep in center and right.
One ball, no strikes on Pearce. And now the Cubs figure with 1 away, and with Pearce ahead of the count early, Paul might be taking off. Showed you those stolen base numbers against Sean Marshall. Carlos Marmol, the closer, loosens up in the bullpen for Chicago. it's 1 ball and 1 strike on the pinch hitter, Steve Pearce.
Find a gap, a corner, you can have a high ball game with the speed of your call.
One ball, 1 strike. And now 1-2 on Pearce.
Breaking ball. Over top. And out in front. Double whammy. Marshall pulled the string on him.
Fly ball to right. Near the line. Johnson makes the catch. 2 outs. Here's struggles continue. The batter is Neil Walker. Walker 0 for 3 against Garza.
Another factor with Marshall, he's only given 1 home run, thrown 1 home run in 51 appearances.
And strike 1. Fastball to Neil Walker. Walker splits much better now from the right side than it had been the first half of the season. Batting average as a right-hand hitter continues to rise. 0-1 count. A ball 1-1.
Ramos Ramirez just a half step away from the third base line. Again, Marlon Byrd extremely deep in center field. Johnson, Soriano, pretty much the same alignment they had.
There goes Paul. Pitch is taken for a ball. There will be no throw. Xavier Paul, a stolen base, and a base hit away from tying this game. 13th steal in 17 tries.
Now they have to shorten up somewhat in right field and center field. Give themselves a chance to make a throw on a base hit.
Neil Walker, what a time for RBI number 65. 2-1 the count. 19,106 the paid attendance. Three and 1, and on deck it's former Cub Derek Lee. Have to assume that Pat Listash would go to his closer Marmol if Walker were to reach.
Go for the pre-save in the 8th inning.
3-1 on Neil Walker. Needing a big hit. Line right at Ramirez. Can't hit it any harder.
Sitting on the line, Ramos Ramirez, the atom ball.
News on Root Sports. I'm standing outside the Pirate Clubhouse. We kind of wanted to show you the path that the players take as they walk from the clubhouse out to the field. So come with me down this hallway. Now, there are a couple of options that the Buccos have. The first one is this hallway right here. It'll actually take you out to the field and pull even about the third base coach's box. And this is where players will usually go out for batting practice or head out to the bullpen before the game. As you move further down the hallway, if you actually were to take this hallway all the way down and curve to the left, you'd get to the Cubs clubhouse. We don't want to go to the visitors clubhouse. We'll work our way towards the Pirates clubhouse. But along the way, this is the indoor batting cage that the Pirates will use sometimes before practice and sometimes during the game. Nobody in there at the moment, but sometimes players will come in and get a few hacks in before they go out and pinch it for a player on the field. As we go further down the hallway, this is usually the main route that the Pirates will take to the dugout. First thing they'll see is a pretty unique quote. And we're going to keep it right up here because our player is actually coming off the field. But Roberto Clemente is the first thing that they will see as they head out toward the dugout. And then they have a short walk out to the field. Guys, it's all yours.
How about that? When I put my on my uniform, I feel I am the proudest man on earth, Roberto Clemente. Thanks, Dan, for that inside look. All access night here on Root Sports.
Yeah, you might have noticed, too, in that hallway, in that tunnelway, part of it's concrete and part of it's rubberized track because some of those guys wear those cleats and you don't want them sliding all over the place, so a little traction available. Veras on to work here in the top of the ninth.
Breaking ball and a strike to Soto. There's that rubber track. Down the runway. As Dan said, there are two entrances to the dugout. There's the other. The Browns crew hangs out. They have a room down there. It's where the umpires go down there to look at replays. Steve Blass being doused. Doc Ellis after the 71 series. Pictures that hang just outside the clubhouse doors.
Recognizable there with Mr. Mazeroski. Mike LaValliere, Danny Walling peeling off for the Reds, I believe, or
Cardinals.
Cardinals, yeah,
National
Cardinals,
League Eastern Division title, early 90s. The 60 champions.
Clemente being congratulated there.
Veras strikes out Soto. The other pictures, the We Are Family.
Bill Garner there.
The 1979 Bucks. That's the National League Championship Series in Pittsburgh. And
Maz
Dave Just was that Maz
and Willie. Yep.
I'm not sure what year that would have been, Steve. 71 maybe.
Could be. Teak and Nick, Steve Nicosia.
In Baltimore. Seen that one before too, once in a while, right?
A few times, yep.
Blass and Sengi.
Happy day. Hope we can turn this night into a happy night. It's been such a good ball game through 8 innings. The Pirates are trailing. Big hook by Veras.
Well, there are two new additions to the lineup. Lee and Ludwig will lead off, and then Alvarez against Marmol.
You got the potential of one swing tying it up, but still work to be done here in the top half of the inning. Just one out. Trying to attack the fort.
Won't go down. Bell rung. You see what Bob Davidson said. What point? Show me number 1.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what I'm saying here. Xavier Paul out in right field. Softly hit to third. 2 up, 2 down. And we'll bring up Reed Johnson, who took over in right field when Tyler Colvin was ejected following his 5th inning strikeout. Steve, that shot of you jumping up there in the 71 World Series, about ready to jump into Bob Robertson's arms, is that kind of what you were doing? You shot your 72 over the weekend at Mystic Rock?
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Not nearly as much fun, but fun. Yeah. I could cross one thing off the bucket list, shooting par.
How about that?
86 the following day, but that's the following day. Fastball.
Bob Walk and Root Sports Rock. Get it?
Yeah.
Bob Walk and Rock. Very clever. Rock will be with us, of course. We hit the road again.
Finish up with the Padres on Sunday.
1-2 on Reed Johnson. There he is. Bob Walk rocks. And trying to act like he doesn't know he's on TV. Trying to act all studious. Don't see Rock there in the all-you-can-eat seats.
So Walk rocks and Rock walks.
I suppose.
He jogs, so he keeps in pretty good shape. Jogger.
Well, Pirates aren't in great shape. They're down 1 in the bottom of the 9th, facing Carlos Marmol, but they've done it before against their closer, and it's Derek Lee, the former Cub, set to lead things off. The Cubs, 6:30 airtime on Root Sports. And then the Padres in for 3. 2 night games Friday and Saturday, and the concluding game of the homestand Sunday afternoon at 1. Don't forget that Friday, a free shirt Friday. Rally caps on. Derek Lee will lead things off. His Pirates debut against his former club on Monday night. His second at bat against Carlos Zambrano. His first home run as a Pirate. And then in the 8th inning against Kerry Wood, a 2-run homer, providing the Pirate offense. He drove in all 3 runs. And now has 14 homers combined with Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Derek Lee tonight has lined to short, singled to center, and popped to second.
Carlos Marmol picked up the save Monday night. The numbers you need to know about Marmol: 49 innings, 62 strikeouts. Well, you're right about Neil Walker blistering that ball to Ramos Ramirez, who couldn't stay on the line because there was a runner in scoring position, so he moved over just enough to be in perfect position to make that catch.
1 ball, 1 strike. And now 1-2 on Derek Lee. It's tough enough to face Carlos Marmol under any circumstance. This is just the 3rd time that Lee has faced his former teammate. 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout.
And not only does he have great stuff, but he comes back and he kind of hides the ball a little bit in back of him before he comes back up over the top. So not the easiest delivery to pick up.
Lays off. 3-2, and he can be wild, of course, Marmol.
Close call, and the Pirates get that call.
Maybe they,
and then some.
Maybe it's a makeup for the first pitch that Lee thought was inside, and now he's hit by the pitch.
Went soft on the payoff pitch and got way out in front of it. The ball hung up high and inside and hits Lee. Well, that's the start you need.
Ludwig looking down at third base coach Nick Leyva.
Last thing on the Cubs' mind is Ludwig running. Ramos deep.
Ludwig is a .267 career hitter against Marmol, 4 out of 15. A couple of walks. He struck out 5 times in his career against him.
All 3 outfielders not all that far away from the warning track.
And he does bunt.
Yep.
And he'll move
successfully
Lee into scoring position. As we've said time and time again, you cannot predict what Clint Hurdle might do. Meadows Racetrack and Casino presents the scores. We mentioned Pirates need a win to keep pace with the first place Brewers. Brewers win it over the Cardinals 10-5. Reds up on the Astros in the 7th. Braves were winners in Washington. 8-6 Phillies beat the Rockies by a pair. Giants and Ryan Vogelsong beat the D-backs in San Francisco's AT&T Park and postponed in New York. Marlins and Mets tonight, the Padres and Dodgers in San Diego. Here is Alvarez. He takes ball 1.
By the way, just an aside, one of the bigger stories in Major League Baseball, Ryan Vogelsong. Winning for the Giants, giving it just 1 run.
Ryan Ludwig's 2nd sacrifice of the season, by the way, and now in scoring position is Derek Lee. A base hit could tie it, and it's ball 2. Down a run. The Parrot encouraging the fans. And Dome it on deck. 2-0 count. Ball 3. The Pirates, of course, defeated Marmol and the Cubs in a dramatic game in front of a sellout crowd on Friday night, July the 8th. And Michael McHenry hit the 2-out home run. Taking all the way in a strike. Three and 1. Strike is called.
Another close call at the strike zone.
And the
off
Cubs
that
get
corner.
one.
Yep.
Working Alvarez away. Just stays alive. Marmol has that killer slider. 3-2 the count. It was 3-0, 3-1, now 3-2, and
that's what it was. Down and in, way down.
And another foul ball.
And another pitch other than his fastball.
And honestly, Steve, I don't know that that's his best slider.
No, that wasn't. That was hittable. That kind of rolled up instead of got. It wasn't sharp.
Still 3-2 on Alvarez. One out, down one. And it is still 3-2. And again, he stays away from the fastball. Remains 3-2. Got him. Pirates down to their last out, and it's Ryan Doumit. Our HGH Sports Medicine injury update and roster move. Doumit off the DL. Eric Fryer option to Indy to make room for him. Our injury update thanks to our friends at Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Welcome back, huh?
What an entrance. Yeah, we're going to put you up against one of the better ones in the National League, Carlos Marmol.
And again, Clint Hurdle cautioned earlier to profile players who come back right away off rehab. He said, you look at the first 25 to 30 at-bats of a guy coming off a rehab assignment, and they're not good normally. It usually takes some time. We'll see if...
Well, you haven't seen a lot of live Major League pitching in a long, long time.
Ball one. Doumit 1 for 8 in his career against Marmol with a home run. He has had a flair for the late inning dramatics over the last couple of years. Doumit. Takes 2-0. Isn't it interesting that Michael McHenry is on deck? Doumit bats for Cedeno.
Isn't it interesting, too, that you think that even with Brian being away, that he might rather face McHenry than Doumit?
Line sharply foul past Luis Silverio. Two and one on Doumit. Marmol trying to save it for Garza. 2-1 pitch. And now the fastball is fouled back, and the Bucks and Doumit down to the last strike. One more available. 2-2 count. Trying to avoid losing their 6th straight game. Pulled foul again. Garza went 7+. Marshall a scoreless 8. And now Marmol, who hit Derek Lee to start the inning. Yes, he did. And the Cubs win their 3rd straight over the Pirates. The Bucks have dropped 6 in a row and fall below 500. Pitching of the Chicago Cubs outdueling the Pirates.
Downstairs he goes with another breaking ball. Ryan can't check the swing. Tough one. It was a tough one. Last night the Pirates got hammered, but tonight it was tougher.
The Cubs will now look for a sweep of the Pirates tomorrow. Garza beats Resop, the Castro home run, the difference in this ball game. A no decision for Charlie Morton despite 7 strong innings. Stay tuned. Pirates post game is coming up next.